thank you very much for coming today, guys. I think we met at Halal Festival, food festival before,
Tell us a little bit more about Gacho Asado, where that name originates, and the business that you have here at London Halal Food Festival.
Gaucho is origin of Argentina, so it means is a cowboy.
Right.
Yeah, it means who rides the horses and all that. And the asado is the barbecue style of Argentinian. We wanted to open the place here in London. I used to own a restaurant in Chiswick High Road. And this is about, well, I opened there about 11 years ago, 2005. It was more or less a French English, French English style. So like we're doing pancakes, we're doing, more or less, I would say, it's like a brasserie. When I opened in 2005, we were literally about 12 establishment selling type of a coffee shop. Yeah, so it was restaurant, but the classic restaurant, opening lunchtime, having a split shift, coming back 5, going into the dinner and all that. But I'm sure you're all aware now with this competition and all this. So like we give an example, or let's not mention a name, but there is a rest that they open from the morning. They are a restaurant, they open, they sell in a breakfast, coffee in the morning, then it comes to lunch, they have a sandwich display, and then you've got the tea, coffee in the afternoon, cakes, then they will go into their proper business in the evening, dinner, So that has created a competition for me personally, because more choices, of course, people, spread, the money spreads, it's a competition. I always choose something where people possibly are a bit afraid of going ahead for it. They may think they lose money, they may think it's too much. Anyway, that's awareness. We used to serve our full English, or any breakfast with a 16 ounce of a freshly squeezed orange juice. So that was the key for me. So basically I managed to get the people coming especially for my breakfast, and because we serve it with a freshly squeezed orange juice, where anywhere else they go, they must pay at least that £3, £3.50 for that orange. That means their breakfast, it will become, more expensive than anything. So I had somebody next to me, which I'm not saying that, he did close down because he couldn't compete. When you're trying to manage a place, you cannot afford, maybe when your rent is very high, so I don't think you can afford to give away so many things, because if I start it, I cannot stop it. You can stop it, but I don't think it's fair, I don't think it's fair. Some people, they are used to it, then you just say at some point, okay, look, we stop it. So that it makes it a bit, because I've been to other places, and I get used to something, they said, oh, sorry, I just don't feel, it's the same place anymore. This is for me. So, because things do change, but I don't think people like much the changes. They have to accept the changes at some point, but if you say to anybody, they don't like the changes, they like always to keep it in the same route. That you can add, but this is how I feel, personally. And didn't want to start it from the beginning, which I could do it, but I knew that I will have to have a cut, at some point and cut it, and I didn't want to do that. But we managed to add hash brown, for example, into the thing. We sourced a very good quality sausages, halal sausages. So this is very important, because we did the very best trying to find or to sell good sausages. Even I had to make my own one with the butcher, but it never worked, the way, we wanted it. So then now we found a halal company in Wembley, which we buy our burgers from, we buy our ribs, we buy all this, and they do halal sausages, and is the best at the moment. So we used to use some companies, which I open a bracket here, you know, so you can take it off or lay, and it's up to you. So it's the JJ and all that, you know. So they are like a processed meat, you know. You can, when you cut it, you can see it's like snake. But I mean, if you have somebody so they want to see meat inside, it's like hashed inside, you know. It's like hashed, so you can tell if it's a process, you know, it's not the same anymore, you know. And so now, alhamdulillah, you know, we find this company, they use enough meat, you know, the chickens, you know, so that it would look, you know, good, you know, when you eat it. You wouldn't notice that it's not, you know, alhamdulillah. So yeah, so coming to that point, you know, and the area here, you know, I think need something like this, not a breakfast. Yeah, we go to our main concept, which is the southern smoked meat and house. You know, so this area here needs something like this. So, and this is why. And let's be. I think I'm sure, you know, this is a message to all the Muslim community, you know. So, and also on the top of that, the reason why I sold chisik and I couldn't compete with, yeah, because I cannot sell haram. Because alhamdulillah, I could easily, if I wanted, open in the evening, bring the alcohol, the money I did spend all here, I could change chisik and I could bring a Turkish restaurant there, and I don't think I would have any problem making money there, you know. And I wanted this combination, tourist with the Muslim, because I wouldn't have much pressure on trying to sell alcohol. So even we get here, some people come in, oh, you don't sell a beer on that. No. Some people do leave, some they just a bit disappointed, but they are hungry. But I noticed something, it's as soon they finish their food, yeah, they finish the food, it's a completely different person. And they just forget about the drink, yeah, and they're very happy. They still say thank you until the door, and they say we come back tomorrow, we come back, you know. And the difference is because before they sit down, or when they sit down, when we tell them that we don't have, you know, that, you know, the drink, you know, you feel that bit, you know, that's I'm not sure if it's the right place for me, you know. Okay, some of them, like I say, they just leave, you know, politely, and some they just, okay, we're hungry, we eat. And so as soon as they finish the food, it's you know, we see you next time, we see you tomorrow, we see you this, you know, that. So this is, you know, the Muslims, alhamdulillah, I noticed that quite often, you know. So yes, very. I was quite impressed, you know, with that. So
you found this place. Tell us more about the name and how you came up with the name and how it fit in with the concept of the.
No problem. Yeah. So my origin is from North Africa. So and the very origin name of the native of North Africa, they call the Moorish. So we you know, I'm a Moor, yeah. So this is my origin. So my first origin idea into the fusion. So I wanted to fuse the North African food with the Middle East food, Turkey, Lebanese, and all that. Yeah. So then when I did look to this area, so I saw there is quite a lot of Lebanese to start with. Yeah, I've got an export here. There is two doors. There is the Persian, which is more or less, you know, kubida, kufta. So it's the same. There is taza opposite. So it's like you're trying to put yourself in the mouth of a lion, you know. Even if, so you could keep competing, but you're throwing yourself straight away into unnecessary stress, I believe, isn't it? So might as well think for a different idea, keep the stress from me, you know, for maybe a week or two, come up, you know, with a new concept and just go for it to study it. So then I've been to Argentina. I found there, so it gives me the feeling, you know, it's that back home where you could be into the bush, the wild, and you could light a barbecue. Then you could cook on a barbecue anything you want, from tagine to meat to kofta to anything. So I had that basically feeling, you know, and it did remind me, you know, back home. So I started thinking the way to bring this to UK and how. So bringing it as a gaucho didn't work. Or what it came in my mind, it's basically if you go full gaucho, yeah, so meat, you need a drink with that, and the drink people here need, I believe, is more or less you will be asked for, the alcohol more or less, yeah. So if you go into that concept like preto, like you go to some of this Brazilian Argentinian, so if you want to put yourself similar to those guys, I don't think you will do better than them because you've got something. So thought into the community, yes, but it was for me a 50-50 because how to bring the community as Muslim to support my concept. It's you could do whatever you guys through many other social media, but how this would be successful. How long it will take, based into many reasons. You've got here you have to pay your expenses, you have to pay. So how long the community to find out that we're here, how much they can come and support and this and that. You understand? So didn't want to target one a community and rely on that to start your business. I think in here in the UK, in London, so I think it's a bit wrong just to specify a community and rely all your business, so you put your egg in one basket, so that's I thought that's difficult for me. It's a risk, so I have to be casual and flexible, open to everybody. But in the meantime, so until I start doing festivals and shows, and when people come in to eat in my place or they go into different places, you see all sorts of nationalities, isn't it? So you see Asians, you see Japanese, you see Chinese, you see European, you see South American, you see African. They eat from that food because they want to try it. And there I felt, or I did understand the meaning exactly of food brings people together. So this is how, this is one point that I did learn, from the festival. So when you get people together, so you can bring a plate, from your nationality, say, biryani, I bring a tagine, somebody brings sushi, somebody brings, so we sit together, then I think you would like to try the sushi or the tagine because your biryani, and I will go to the biryani probably because I know that my tagine, what is like that, and here we could create a fusion, we can, so now the fusion is here where what I did, learn from these festivals and the shows is the fusion. And then I started to realize or to think, now because the market is a bit saturated, isn't it? So especially for the last 20 years, UK in terms of food, mashallah, has boomed. I remember that ready steady cook, so is there where it started, even if it was from Uncle Ben's the pot, but is there where people started, or I think the message started to go to the houses and say, okay, you could cook, you don't need to go and just have breakfast, so you could cook at home, and it's from there things have started to develop and all that, isn't it? So I think this is about 20 years ago, and now look where we are. It's I think is the first country in the world where you can find the differences. I have never been to America, which I believe, maybe, New York, but here in London, there is a lot of different nationalities, food and this. So because it's a small, maybe London is not it's a big city, but maybe it's not as big as, so it gets saturated very quickly. I don't know if you are with me here. So it gets saturated because people, I think, copy much, what other people do, isn't it? So this is a good idea. People start, you find, one open a sushi, so you will find, 20 sushis, just literally next time. So it's the fusion what I thought, the way forward. So. I think yes. So I think because if I give you the example of the matador, Yeah, so the matador, it's a normal beef, yeah, beef meat in a patty. But when you say chorizo, it's the merguez, is Algerian sausage. See, so to me, that's a small detail of a fusion. So you may not see that. I could make the pulled duck, for example. It's a Chinese dish, isn't it? And because here there is a lot of Chinese, and even it's called, I think, the Little Chinatown. In a certain, for some people, is known, as a Little Chinatown. Now, it doesn't look as, but so I just thought it could be a good idea trying to create a pulled duck, where we've got the pulled chicken, we've got the pulled beef, people know about the pulled pork, whatever, but as a pulled duck is not a bad idea, and putting it in a burger. So, and it sells very well, it sells good, so a lot of people, maybe for interest, for upon interest, but it's a very good, and I believe it's one of the fusions, that, we could do.
Tell us a little bit more about the steaks as well. What makes it unique?
The steaks, when you take, the ribeye steak, I don't think you can fiddle too much with that. So, because if you try you could always add, like, whatever the sauce, the peppercorn sauce, or here, for instance, this is the Argentinian style. So now the southern is more about Southern American and all that. We are in London, but the ribeye, because we serve it with the chimichurri sauce. So chimichurri sauce, it's a typical Argentinian, and it's a very nice sauce. So basically the steak, and I don't do much with the steak, because especially the ribeye or the fillets, the taste is within the meat. So the 36 days aged, yeah. So we keep it, we buy it as a 36 age, and it makes it tender, very, very tender, and it tastes much better. So that's why you keep, salt, butter, and peppers, and that's it. So you get
all the sauces in-house.
Yeah. Oh yes. We have our own chef, so all the peppercorn sauce, all that. So we do it, within the house. So when it comes here, we don't budge, with buying, like here, the fish and chips. We make our own fish and chips, here. So we don't buy it like frozen, some other places do. So it's all fresh, the butter is fresh, and alhamdulillah, yes. We've got, halloumi itself, so it's very popular. So I'm sure there's a lot of people do the halloumi burger at the moment. But what he makes it, a bit different. It doesn't say it here, but we've got the mint and the red chili, yeah, with the bare lemon sauce. So before we start cooking the halloumi, so we dip it into this sauce. There's a red chili, a bit of mint, and the lemon dressing, so we dip it, then we cook it. Then you've got, the chipotle sauce, which I don't know if anybody is doing it, but it's a chipotle, so it's going to be a bit of a chili one, isn't it? And I'm sure, it is a Southern American a bit. But when I did put this, I know, the Asian, like say Indian or Pakistan, or they like chilies, and they like the halloumi. So I was thinking about that, it could work, especially the vegetarian aspect, because I know, the Far East, Indian, they like vegetarian especially. So I thought, I would like, to welcome everybody here. But my first and most, it's the Muslim community. So this is what this is the original, idea, and that's, inshallah, that's what I'm trying to do.